Buddy, and welcome to ESO Daily. It's Mystic Raven. Okay, hey, I'm not going to spend a long time on this vid, but I definitely wanted to put, I was watching Fengrush's update on some of the patch notes for Morrowind. He does such a great job. This is kind of some of the reasons why I won't do vids that other players are doing because they're doing it so well. And Fengrush just nailed this, overview. And he threw it up there, reading it, going over all the content. Really good stuff. Something that caught my eye, and I just kind of want to do a vid. And I'll post a link to his vid. So if you guys don't watch Fengrush, you really want, when he's doing these patch note reviews, especially if you're a PvPer, you want to be paying attention. I think Feng definitely hit a bunch of really good points with the CP system, right? What caught my eye was the sentence after, and I'll post the timer about the CP with the DRs and the diminishing return, because as soon as I seen it, it said you can go ahead and still stack 100 points into any specific champion system, but it will, and it said something like, but it'll be less beneficial to do so, or something along that lines. But I'm going to actually link his vid and the timer in the post time. But I actually encourage every you guys to review Fengrush's entire patch note system. He does such a great job. Fengrush, awesome job, dude, as always. But this video is going to raise the question: are we looking at a nerf to the stack again? Or is the DR system getting? They didn't give us a number. That's what's fucked up to me. It was like, okay, so you're actually kind of nonchalantly saying, yes, there's a diminishing return on the CP system, which a lot of players already knew there was, but we have some dumbasses that are still stacking like fucking retards. But here was the whole thing that I'm wondering, what's the percentage value lost now? Now you're going to have to reset up the if you have calculators, and like Feng was saying, there are players who have calculators out there, so they can go ahead and re-put in those values. But is that across the board? What percentages are we losing per tree? I agree with Feng on this. They really got to redo the CP system. They just have to. The innate passives alone is bullshit. I mean, you have to reconfigure your CP points just to pick up this passive. In a lot of builds that I do, sometimes it's not how many points I'm stacking into one particular tree or what I'm putting into one. It's the passives I'm trying to acquire to make my build a little bit more viable, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. This to me is like, okay, guys, can you give us a number? Can you at least put it out there? And I get that you're saying, okay, we reduced this from 60 to 30%. But when it comes to the CP system, they don't specify anything. So now we got players running around like morons, stacked in their CP. It confuses them. You get the people who go on the calculator. There's no originality to it. I mean, I understand that the DR system's important, and I'm not saying it isn't. My question now becomes, how is this affecting the PvE versus the PvP builds? Okay, because we're looking at damage reduction in Cyrodiil. Or is that going to still apply in Battlegrounds, right? We're looking at a no CP initially Battlegrounds. If they reconfigure CP, we might have a CP Battlegrounds. If we do have CP Battlegrounds, is there advantage or disadvantage depending on point placement? Like Bafal is basically PvP related, right? It serves no fucking function whatsoever in PvE. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. The innate passives for like gathering, all sorts of your friggin' ultimate regens, your ultimate generators, that, I don't know, man. I have no idea. But until I play it, until I test it, and until I get my hands on it, I don't know how dramatically this is going to impact each of my builds as far as their CP layout. So I'm just going to say this for the record, and I want my viewers to kind of keep a heads up or eyes open when it comes to CP placement in the near future, because are they going to restructure? Are we going to look at a reformat? I'm not saying you initially have to get rid of the CP system, okay, because it's progression. What I'm saying, and I'm agreeing with Fengrush on this, is it offers too much to the players who have it versus the players who don't, versus the innate passives. It's true. It's fucking true. It's 100% true. So, and that's what I said. If you have a CP Battleground, I walk in at a cap versus somebody who's a like fresh 80, maybe 160, doesn't have all his passives. I'm placed into reduction. I'm going to take less damage. Since one Tamriel, I can go ahead, take advantage of different setup combos that I typically wouldn't run for PvP. We're looking at PvP sets, but for Battlegrounds, new ones, but they're just going to use that a primary and slot a secondary set. That's what's going to happen. I'm not anti that, but you add that along with the CP system, well, I might not need a full reduction in this. If I go ahead, I might take two sets that have no reduction, go ahead and take all my reduction over here, take a set that gives me a damage reduction effect further, like a shielding system, so I don't need to put into Bastion. I'll take a shield system from my gear set, and then I'll put in more in resistance, and spread that across the board. You know what, guys? And just to pick up the passives, I don't know, man. It's definitely not working out. I think the only way you can do this is give players more option for point placement and allow those passives to be specifically introduced to the system after a certain unlock, not like what they currently have. But if you're a harvester or a crafter, that passive's available in a crafting passive in your CP, not in damaging related CP system. To me, that, or reduction as far as regen, I'm going to agree. I'm just totally going to agree with that. The CP system needs kind of a little bit of an overhaul. But diminishing returns, guys, this is where it's at. How is this new setup? What's the numbers? I'm going to have to fuck with this all over again, because now you're not giving me a specific number. I'm going to have to recalculate, reformat, redo all this, because it's, until somebody gets a calculator and says, oh, we're losing 5 point something on this for a stack, so we'll reconfigure our calculators, whatever. But, I do it manually anyways. That's how I like to do it. I like to go out there and, fuck with it myself. But, yeah, guys, so what is diminishing returns going to do after this new setup? Becomes the question. I'm going to link Fengrush's vid. I encourage every one of you to watch it. Give him a like, give him a big thumbs up. He does such a awesome damn job of covering this shit. So once again, Fengrush, thumbs up, man. All right, guys, this is Mr. Graven, this is CSO Daily. Thank you for watching, and once again and always, have a nice day.